On today's Locked On Thunder podcast, we're going to dive into the Thunder game against the LA Clippers or the Lakers and preview it for you today. Talking about the injury report with LeBron James being out and a few key Thunder players being questionable and what to watch for, keys to the game, and so much more. So let's get into the show right now.
You are Locked On Thunder, your daily Oklahoma City Thunder podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let's get it going on the Locked On Thunder podcast on Locked On Podcast Network, your teams every day. I am your host, editor-in-chief over at thunderousintentions.com. Media member Rylan Stiles. You can follow me on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles. It's at RYLAN_STILES. You can follow the show on Twitter at LOThunderPod and even email the show, LOThunderPod@gmail.com. On today's show, brought to you by McDonald's, we will preview the Lakers game tonight with the injury report, what to watch for, the bet of the day, the Moneyball pick, and more, all coming up on today's Locked On Thunder, a daily podcast about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Subscribe for free on all platforms. We're here for you every single day talking Thunder basketball. So let's start with the game overview. Who's out tonight? What's the situation coming into tonight? So for the Thunder, of course, they're without their G League players, Aaron Wiggins and Paul Watson Jr. on the two-way contracts. They've been relegated down to the blue. And then the Thunder have also assigned Trey Mann and Vic Ritchie to the blue as well. That happened last week. The blue will play their first game tomorrow, so they're still ramping up to play their first game this week. Also for the Thunder, Gabriel Deck, questionable in this game with a heel injury, and Lou Dort is questionable with a shoulder injury. We did talk to Mark yesterday after practice, and he said that Lou Dort progressed pretty well, and it seems like he's going to give it a go if he presents well at shoot-around this morning and this afternoon. But it did not sound like Gabriel Deck was really close to being available. Now, maybe that can change in the next few hours leading up to the game, but the vibe that I got from Mark yesterday was Lou Dort, he's kind of up there as probable, and Gabriel Deck's kind of doubtful. That's kind of the vibe that I got from Mark yesterday. Now, for the Lakers, they have a lengthy injury report. LeBron James is out again. He missed the last game against the Thunder. He'll miss this one as well. Kenrich Nunn is out as well for the Lakers. Thunder legend Trevor Ariza is out as well. Talen Horton-Tucker is out as well. And then here's the people who are probable. Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and Wayne Ellington, they're all probable. So they're probably going to play. And then the two-way guys for the Lakers, Jay Huff and Sadiq and Seke, they're both questionable. I'm not sure how they're questionable. I'm not sure if they're assigned to the G League yet or not. And so that kind of leads into that. But nonetheless, LeBron will be out for at least a week. And the Lakers struggled with LeBron to beat the Rockets. So that 26-point collapse against the Thunder a couple weeks ago or last week did not really wake up the Lakers the way that we thought it might. So they were still struggling with lesser quality teams on paper than the Lakers. So we can see if the Thunder can get involved here and win another game as well in this season. The Thunder come in 1-6. Lakers 5-3. Excuse me. The last game, the Thunder, of course, came back from 26 points, and Russell Westbrook got really mad at the Thunder and Darius Bazley. What to watch for? Russell Westbrook is the biggest story to watch for. Does he have any sort of edge in this game? Does he shoot LA out of the game? Can Bazley bait him, into playing bad? We know Russell Westbrook in this community better than any other fan base, any other franchise. And we know that there's times where Russell Westbrook can play so emotionally that he takes himself out of a game. There's been times where Ricky Rubio, who's a significantly worse player than Russell Westbrook, just dominates him because he gets so inside of his head and he tries to attack Rubio so bad that it just ends up being worse for the team. And so Russell Westbrook should be able to dominate Darius Bazley, but is he going to be seeing red against Bazley and kind of force the issue and make mistakes? what does Russell Westbrook do this game? And on that same note, do we get good Darius Bazley or bad Darius Bazley in this game? Because this Thunder team is very shallow, right? In the sense of high impact players. Now, there's a lot of players that we're interested in, and a lot of players who we want to watch play basketball. But how many of them can truly change the outcome of the game based on their performance? It's as clear as kind of Darius Bazley being one of those guys of if Bazley's good, then all of a sudden your team looks a lot better than whenever he's bad. He's one of those important pieces that you know will get a lot of minutes, right? Ty Jerome being good can be a spark plug off the bench, but he might only get 5 minutes. Darius Bazley's going to get 25, 30 minutes. So you're going to need him to be a key piece for you in this game. I think that we'll see good Bazley tonight. Maybe. I mean, he's had 2 really bad games, and so he's kind of due for a good one and a couple more bad ones. He's just so inconsistent. But it is incredibly hard to predict which Bazley we'll see night in and night out. Now, I am interested in if SGA continues his third quarter trends. And if SGA continues to be this incredible third quarter player, we'll see if that actually comes true. We'll talk more about that coming up. But again, this episode is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's is serving communities since 1965. McDonald's has been more than just a place to get tasty, affordable food. It's been the unofficial community center. A big thank you to our friends over at McDonald's for always being there. I'm loving it. Also, this episode is brought to you by RockAuto.com. RockAuto.com is a family-owned business serving you auto parts online for 20 years. That's right, 20 years ago, you could have been going to RockAuto.com and finding all the parts that your car would ever need. My favorite part about RockAuto.com is that I know nothing about cars, not a single thing. And I don't have to know anything about cars. All I have to know is my make, my model, my year, and I can put that into my database, and they're only going to show me car parts that are compatible with my vehicle. That way, I'm not wasting time, effort, or money on parts I cannot use or parts that I do not need. You can go to rockauto.com right now and find those parts that you need. And when you check out, tell them Locked On sent you in the how did you hear about this box, and they'll know what to do from there. RockAuto.com, amazing selection, reliably low prices with the Porsche car they need. RockAuto.com. I want to say right now, but our good friends over at BetOnline.ag. BetOnline.ag is back and better than ever with a new website interface to start the basketball season with more prop bets, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the basketball and football action this season. Head over to the website with the updated desktop and mobile site and sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. You can just use our code Locked On to receive that bonus from basketball, football, NHL, boxing, UFC, right up to your favorite Vegas casino games. Do not wait to take advantage of these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your sport action. BetOnline, where the game starts. I want to thank you for making Locked On Thunder a part of your daily routine, your daily listening habits. We're here for you every single day, talking Thunder basketball. And again, back to SGA. He has been fantastic in the third quarter. The third quarter has been his quarter where he starts to take over. And you look at his numbers compared to last year, again, only 7 games so far this year, not quite even at the 10-game mark, but 22.9 points per game this year. Last year, he had 23.7 points per game. And then here's the difference in this year's game. So he's taking threes at a higher clip, 6.7 attempts from beyond the arc this year compared to 4.9 attempts last year. He's shooting 36% from three this year and 44% from the floor. He shot 50% from the floor and 41% from three a year ago. He's even dipped at the free throw line as well. While he's getting there 5 times, he's only making 78% of them. He made about an 80% clip last year. The efficiency is not there yet for SGA, but we've talked about this before. He's trading off efficiency with better shots, right? With taking over games, because you want SGA with the ball in his hands. You want those field goal percentages, and field goal attempts per game to go up as it has so far this year. He's shooting 2 more times a game. He's shooting 2 more times from beyond the arc a game. He is getting to the line 1 less time, and league-wide, free throw attempts is down in this league. So that's understandable why his went down as well. And he's almost at that same scoring output, 22.9 compared to 23.7. A couple games to kind of erase those first couple of games. We just got a bit of a slow start in games 1 and 2. As we get further away from those 2 games, these numbers go even further up. It's been a lot better recently in this last week, really. I think that everyone should agree that trading off efficiency with SGA is a good thing whenever he's hitting step back threes and is going to get you buckets and is going to just take more difficult shots, because you need a guy like SGA to take difficult shots. You do not want SGA passing up difficult but makeable shots for a wide open shot from Darius Bazley from 3, right? Or any player that's not named SGA from 3, or anywhere on the floor. Your best bet to win games, to score points, is with SGA and with the ball in his hands. That's just your best bet. So he's done most of his damage in that third quarter. Will that trend continue? Will he be a fast starter tonight? Because remember, after that 26-point comeback, the only player that really kept the Thunder in that game in the first half and the third quarter was Darius Bazley. And then SGA took over the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and the Thunder won that game in a fantastically fun game. Right. But Bazley was like the only player at a really good first half against the Lakers. Who can step up tonight and have that good first half to try to keep them in this game? And I think that in this game, can the Thunder keep it competitive? Can they keep that energy up? Can they keep that kind of intensity all throughout it tonight? Or will the Lakers finally snap out of this fog? Like, at what point do the Lakers just say, okay, enough is enough. We're going to play the way that we should play, right? Like, on paper, this Lakers team should be really good. This Lakers team should be kind of easing by the Thunder, the Rockets, and teams like that, and the Spurs, but they're just not putting it together yet. Eventually, they're going to put it together. Eventually, they're going to put the pieces together in the right way. Will it be tonight against the Thunder? Or can the Thunder keep it close and have that extra gear to go up against the Lakers? Because you can say what you want to about the tanking season and about the Thunder not trying to win games in terms of advancing to the playoffs or whatever. But when you're a competitor, when you're a player like SGA is, and even the swagger that Josh Giddey has on the floor, it means something to play in the Staples Center. It means something to play against the Lakers. It means something to go up against these future Hall of Famers. It just does. So this is a game that the Thunder should have raised expectations, raised energy, and a sharpened focus against the Lakers. And they should want to prove something on this big stage. Well, it's not a national TV game. It will not be on TNT. It will not be on ESPN, ABC, whatever. Die-hard NBA fans, or NBA fans in general, will be tuning in to watch the Lakers this year, especially every single game, no matter if they got to go to League Pass to get it or whatever. They're going to be finding ways to watch the Lakers. So even though it's not a national TV game, all eyes are on this game right here. It'll be the game that gets clipped out on Twitter and sends highlights around the social world, which is how most people are consuming basketball these days. Most of your casual fans, their form of basketball kind of entertainment is via social media. It's via World Wide Web. It's via these places that clip out highlights. They're not sitting down to watch the full game possession by possession. Now, I am. Most of you listen to this podcast are, but some of you aren't. Some of you are that social media kind of watcher and observer, right? So this is a game that can produce those highlights because the big people who clip out the highlights are watching the Thunder play tonight, whenever they're not really going to watch the Thunder take on the Spurs on Sunday, right? Like, they're just not. They're going to be watching other games on Sunday. So all that to say, if the energy is lacking tonight in the Staples Center, I'm not really sure when they're going to kick the energy up. And they've had kind of an up and down ride in terms of energy and when they bring energy and intensity. But tonight should be one of those nights where they kick it into full gear, in my opinion. So can they do that against the Lakers tonight? And then I'm just fascinated by who will start tonight for the Thunder against a bigger Lakers squad. I think that, do you want to throw Jerry out there and just see how he fares? Or do you keep going with Derrick Favors against these bigger lineups and keep Jerry off the bench? And then we're getting to that point again where it's, haven't seen Roby. It's time for another Roby stint here in this game. What are they going to do with Isaiah Roby? So it's interesting to see who they're going to start. I would guess they're going to start Favors. But again, it even throws a wrinkle in things if Lu Dort can't go, which I think he will go, but there's a chance he doesn't. So the starting lineup to me will be very fascinating to watch how Mark puts it together and what he decides to do on that front. But this game should have some fireworks. It should be a fun game to watch tonight at 9:30. So a late West Coast tip. Make sure you've drunken enough coffee. Got the holiday drinks coming back from Starbucks. That'll be interesting. You can go check those out and get those on your way home from work today. And make sure you're energized. I have a high school football game to broadcast on Thursday, today at 7. Hoping it ends close-ish to 9:30. And I'll listen to Matt Pinto as I race home and try to catch up on the DVR with the Thunder game against the Lakers. So it'll be fun. The post-game podcast, again, will be like always right here on this feed, wherever you get podcasts from, because we're here for you every single day. You can subscribe for free on every single one of your platforms. Now, coming up, we're going to get into the keys to the game and the bet of the day brought to you by BetOnline AG and also the Thunder Moneyball pick. But first, I want to say right now about our good friends over at McDonald's. This episode is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965. McDonald's has always been more than just a place to get tasty, affordable food. It's a place where friends and families can come and reconnect. A place where classmates can meet up for a study group, knowing they'll have dependable Wi-Fi and endless supplies of French fries and McFlurries. Win or lose is a place where teammates and competitors, the home team or the away team, can come and recharge. It's a place that you always look forward to stopping to on your long road trips to rest your legs and to refuel. You all remember going to McDonald's after Little League games. You all remember the joy of stopping at McDonald's as a kid. It was always a fun time to go to McDonald's. And everyone can pinpoint where the McDonald's is at in your town, where you're at right now. You can always find that nearest McDonald's. And we all know our go-to orders. That's a place where you're not going to do a lot of hem-hawing around, right? The line won't be too long because we all know what we want. Everyone kind of has a go-to McDonald's order. No matter how frequently you frequent there, you know what you're going to get at McDonald's, and it's very consistent. You like the consistency. It's been a theme here this week on Locked On Thunder, but it's such a great tool to use their Wi-Fi for free and to get even coffees there, breakfast there, lunch there, dinner there, everything that you need at a dependable low price and as a tasty, tasty treat. And we might even have a Locked On Thunder watch party at McDonald's. So if you want that, let me know on Twitter. Either way, we all love McDonald's. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. McDonald's. We are back on the Locked On Thunder Podcast, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your teams every day. I want to tell you right now about our good friends over at the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. It's the number one fantasy basketball podcast in the world, the number one in the world. It's hosted by Josh Lloyd, and he does a podcast almost hourly, it feels like. He's always hopping on YouTube, Locked On Fantasy Basketball, always hopping on the podcast, anywhere you get podcasts from, to help you win your league. He's got you covered with waiver wires, who to trade for, who to pick up that someone's sleeping on, and who to start, who to bench, who to do all that fun stuff with. Because, folks, this is the year that we truly invest in fantasy basketball. We do not let it go the way of the dodo bird halfway through the season. We're all going to win our leagues this year. We should all be doing leagues right now and winning them with the help of Josh Lloyd over at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Thank you for making Locked On Thunder your first listen every single morning. We're here for you every single day talking Thunder basketball. We'll be here for you again tomorrow and on a recap podcast about this Lakers game, and that will always be a lot of fun to do. And then, of course, that ends the week for Friday. The Thunder play again Sunday. We'll have the post-game podcast for that on Monday morning for you, bright and early, right at midnight for you on Monday. So enjoy that as well. The keys to the game for the Thunder taking on the Lakers. Number one, have energy from the jump. I want to see that energy up for the Thunder. Number 2, I want to see Josh Giddey run the offense a bit more. They did a really good job of this against the Clippers. The Clippers game was one of the first games that I felt like was a really good balance of Josh Giddey controlling the show and also balancing SGA, but still getting enough play with Josh Giddey and still getting enough minutes with Josh Giddey as the lead ball handler. And then number 3, to me, this is a quintessential Russell Westbrook game. Like, you just let Russell Westbrook try to beat you. Like, you let him shoot, you try to get inside of his head, and you try to kind of force him to make the issue and make the error. And if he does come up with one of these historic performances, and he does just whip you, right? If that does happen, you shrug your shoulders and say, okay, we got beat by a Hall of Famer. We got beat by one of the 75 greatest players of all time, and that's just the way it goes. But to me, you try to bait him into forcing the issue, as we've seen him do many times. There's a trade-off with that, though, because obviously Russell Westbrook is one of the greatest players to ever play this game of basketball, so he can just scorch earth you this night, or he could force the issue, have 10 turnovers, and go 2 of 7, right? Like, from 3. It could go a ton of different ways, but to me, you try to let Russell Westbrook beat you, and if he does, kudos to him. Bet of the day, I've got Oklahoma City plus 11 from our good friends over at BetOnline AG. The Thunder Moneyball pick, which, remember, you can get involved with the Thunder Moneyball pick by tweeting me at Rylan_Stiles at RYLAN_STILES. And also, you can tell me who you think will lead the team in 3-pointers made. That's the Thunder Moneyball for each game. I have SGA tonight. Let me know your pick on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles or on the email if you don't have Twitter, lothunderpod@gmail.com. So all that good stuff is there for you to consume and to do and to follow along with as we watch this game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow to recap all of the action. But until then, thank you for listening to Locked On Thunder. Be good and be good to one another.